in my humble opinion, and probably several of you and several people behind me, this is about demographic replacement. And they're doing that via refugee resettlement programs, human trafficking, and cheap slave labor. But we still hear, ad nauseum from the left, if we get rid of the illegal aliens or undocumented workers, whatever term you want to use, who's going to pick our crops? Who's going to clean our hotels? Or as one, there's no children in the room, I don't think. Or as one Democrat in Vermont put it, who's going to wipe our asses? Someone said that last summer. So the Democrats haven't changed their tune on this since the 1830s. It's the same argument. If we get rid of the slaves, who will pick the cotton? That was my attempt at audience participation. It failed. But they've been beating that same drum since the 1830s. If we get rid of the slaves, who will pick the cotton? That was the Democrats back then, and that's Democrats and a lot of liberal Republicans today. Pat Buchanan, one of my favorite all-time people, he said, in half a lifetime, many Americans have seen their God dethroned, their heroes defiled, their culture polluted, their values assaulted, their country invaded, and themselves demonized as extremists and bigots for holding on to beliefs Americans have held for generations. I think the overwhelming majority of Idahoans want to put an end to the pillaging of our state by foreign nationals, both legal and illegal. I think it's time to say no more cheap slave labor, no more propping up the third world, no more subsidizing corporate greed, cartels, and modern-day slavers through the exploitation of tens of thousands of foreign nationals who are currently in Idaho as we're sitting here.
That paragon of conservative journalism, the Los Angeles Times, conceded last week that mass deportations, in their words, are at least partly responsible for the significant decrease in rent costs, housing costs in the greater Los Angeles area. In Denver, the public school system was forced to request emergency appropriations in the tens of millions of dollars in 2024 after they were inundated with illegal alien minor children. In a typical school year, the Denver public school system would see about 500 to 800 illegal alien children matriculated in their schools. During the height of the Biden administration's illegal alien invasion, Denver schools were seeing the matriculation of about 500 to 800 illegal alien minor children per day. As of 2024, 1 in 5 federal inmates in the federal prison system is an illegal alien. Many of these illegal aliens are serving time for murder, domestic abuse, or the trafficking of illegal firearms or women and children into forced labor and sexual exploitation. Now, we'll hear from a lot of academics at Boise State or the University of Idaho or moderate Republicans who will say, they'll repeat the oft-repeated statistic that illegal aliens commit crimes at a rate lower than native-born Americans. And I say that's a canard and it's a red herring because no one tracks that data. The state of Idaho currently has no statutory obligations for local or county or state jails and prison systems to book individuals and then to track the data of their citizenship or their nationality. Your government currently, because of gross mismanagement by state leadership, is asking you, the taxpayers, to accept less. Take less in government services or less in your purchasing power. While at the same time, these very same leaders refuse to seal off the fraud and the expense of foreign nationals and illegal aliens to the Idaho taxpayer. You have a right to know how much money is being spent on the children or the citizens of other countries. And I'll wrap up here. We'll hear immediately, as these bills drop over the next few days, arguments about whether or not this will have a deleterious impact on Idaho's state economy. And I want you to think for a moment when you hear that kind of argument, that what's really being said is, you're not smart enough. You're not physically capable enough. You're not resilient enough to serve the interests of a 21st century economy. And yet, the American worker has always been the special recipe of this nation's success. It was the American worker that invented the world that you live in, that invented air conditioning, the acrylic paint, the aerosol bomb, bulldozers, calculators, lasers, debit cards, fiberglass, the centrifuge, drilling rigs, the floppy disk, turbines, industrial robots, the internet, the washing machine, LEDs, the lithium-ion battery, microphones, microprocessors, Morse code, neoprene, nuclear submarines, the personal computer, the phonograph, the radio, the polio vaccine, radio telescopes, the dishwasher, satellite navigation, the television, the telephone, petrochemicals, the light bulb, electricity, and the automobile. We did okay, and we can do okay for the next 100 years.